my views are manufacturing is important to Singapore. We have studied many economies where they have neglected manufacturing, and I think it gives the economy less ballast. So our intention is that we will want to be able to maintain manufacturing sector as much as we can. It's not going to be easy, but if we play to our strength, I believe we can do so. Today we have some key sectors. One is electronic sector. We have built it up. We have a good ecosystem of wafer fabs, testing systems, design. And I think we contribute probably about 10-11% of the world's output in wafers. So we are of a critical scale enough to be able to compete. To be able to do so, you need a certain size. So I think we have built up a certain scale. But of course, that doesn't mean that you'll be around for the next 20 years. You've got to keep upgrading. But that's one sector that so far we have been holding our own. Petrochemical, it plays to our strength of stability. ExxonMobil, Shell is not going to invest $5 billion US if they don't believe that Singaporeans will survive and Singapore will survive and Singapore will do well for the next 10, 15, 20, 25 years. These are very long-term investments, and obviously they have higher confidence in us than some of us in this room. Otherwise, they won't put their 5, 6 billion US investments in us. But the fact that we have a very strong petrochemical sector and the fact that we are able to integrate this sector on Jurong Island, the fact that we are able to move downstream into specialty chemical, that builds up a whole new ecosystem which other countries find it very hard to replace. So I think this is a sector that we can continue to compete for the next 15, 20 years. The third sector that we're trying to build up is the biomedical sciences sector. We started earnestly in the year 2000. It's already 10 years, and we are doing reasonably well. Why? Because of our intellectual property. People trust us. People trust the quality here. I think this quality and trust is very important. Mr. Michael Heng mentioned about competing with China. I think that is a very big issue in the back of our minds. But we can compete with China based on trust and quality. For example, I've opened up 2 very big infant formula factories in Singapore. Nobody will invest in the infant formula factory in China, right? But they trust Singapore. So Abbott and Wyeth, huge infant formula factory. And those of you who have newborn babies, you'll pay a lot of money, right, just to pay for infant formula, to supplement breastfeeding, of course. But these are, you need trust, you need quality. So as long as we have this, as long as we have technology, I think our competitiveness in manufacturing we can preserve. And what can the message be for young Singaporeans? I go and open up factories many, many times. And as I walk along the factory floors, I don't see enough Singaporeans as engineers and as technicians. You see, I think many young Singaporeans, including my 2 sons, think that they want to be in high tech, in financial services, in R&D, but there is very good jobs as hands-on, very good engineers and technicians. Take a look at our shipyards. The engineers who became very established in our shipyards and who later on go on to run our shipyards, they are doing extremely well. So similarly, when I open factories, we have, say for example, in the oil and gas sector, very good companies testing and drilling for oil and gas. Every time they send a drill down, it costs tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of US. And when I look at the engineers maintaining it and the engineers looking after these systems, there are not enough Singaporeans. So if Singaporeans are prepared, We have new areas coming up, whether it's oil and gas, aviation, aerospace industry. Rolls-Royce is setting up a huge factory producing very high quality wide chord fan blades. We are going to have a system to test engines in Singapore. So these are all very exciting careers for engineers and for technicians.